Alright. Should be good now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna... Well, not pretty sure. Okay, bibbidi bobbidi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, that's for both. But I'm probably gonna turn that off. There we go. Okay. We're reacting to this little kid. Growing up with 3 balls again. Suck it. What? Oh, wow. He grew. 6'7". Yo, get that. Get that boy out. Alright. Anyway, every assassination attempt? I'm gonna have to like this and watch this later. Alright, here we go! Yo, holy voice crack. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. My goldfish is meowing and my trash can is roaring. What do I do? How? What the freak? It's the Minecraft guy. Okay. Oh! Yeah, you're cooked if you, on the You were not removing her from the washing machine, bro. Trust me. You were not. Crazy. Crazy. Now, what's this?
Welcome to the next evolution of AI,
don't care!
built right into the AlterX platform. Now, you can bring the
June 18th, 2016. Michael Stephen Sanford's case. On June 18th,
Oh yeah, by the way, I see that symbol over there. Just ignore that. I can't blur that out, bro. Unfortunately.
2016,
Oh my God.
Donald Trump was holding a campaign rally at the Treasure Island Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. The crowd was large and the security presence was visible.
Nevada.
Police officers stationed throughout the venue, Secret Service working the perimeter. Sometime after the event began, a slight 19-year-old in the crowd started slowly working his way toward one of the police officers standing near the stage. His name was Michael Stephen Sanford. He positioned himself next to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Officer Emil Jacob, reached out with both hands, grabbed the pistol in Jacob's holster, and pulled as hard as he could. The gun didn't move. Jacob tackled him to the ground within seconds. Secret Service agents were on top of him almost immediately. Nobody fired a shot. Nobody was hurt. The whole thing was over in moments. Sanford was taken into custody. And unlike most people arrested in that kind of situation, he waived his right to stay silent and told investigators everything. What they heard was not what they had expected. Sandford had grown up in Dorking, a small town in England, with a difficult medical history that had begun before he was a teenager. He had been diagnosed with autism, severe anxiety, and OCD, and at 14,
Obesity.
he stopped eating and spent months in a psychiatric hospital. He used to run in front of cars to avoid going to school. His family tried everything they could, but the systems around him kept failing him. In 2015, when he was 18, his family paid for him to move to New Jersey to be with his girlfriend, hoping a new country might help. Instead, he drifted to California and disappeared. For months, his family contacted American authorities begging for help finding him. Nobody helped them. By early 2016, Sandford had settled on a single objective: killing Donald Trump. He told investigators he had been planning it for about a year. 2 days before the rally, he had gone to a civilian shooting range called Battlefield Vegas and paid to fire a pistol, the first gun he had ever held in his life. The instructor said he was a bad shot. Sandford wasn't there to get better at shooting. He was there to practice grabbing a weapon out of a holster as fast as he could. He was sentenced to just over a year in prison, served 11 months, and was sent back to England. Donald Trump won the presidency 5 months after Sandford tried to stop him. Sandford was already gone before the results came in. July 13th, 2024. Thomas Matthew Crooks
That's
case.
the thing I was thinking about. I was about to... I hear the echo. What the heck? What the heck? Where is that coming from? Where? Oh. Oh my god. So, that's coming from the TV. That's not Skibbity, bro. What? That, it's Daisy's Alright, bro. I mean, that's probably true. Good God. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, this was the thing I was thinking about.
On July 13th, 2024, at
Hamburger.
4:26 in the afternoon, a security officer at a Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, noticed a young man near a warehouse building at the edge of the property. The building sat directly next to the open field where Trump was about to speak. The young man was noted. Nobody stopped him. At 5:14, a Secret Service counter-sniper spotted him crouched underneath the same building with a tool used.
No, like, genuinely, why do we hate Trump? I'm not... Even if I was supporting him or not, why do we hate Trump? Y'all tell me your reasons in, on Discord. Or in a comment section, like on one of my posts. To say, responding to your live. Like, something like that. Not on the live stream.
Used to measure distance.
I mean, maybe on the live stream. I don't know. You can choose.
The information was passed up the chain. Nobody stopped him. At 5:52, he was confirmed on the roof, 130 meters from the stage. A local police officer climbed the ladder to confront him. The officer reached the top, came face to face with the young man, and saw him raise a rifle and point it directly at him. The officer climbed back down the ladder. 20 seconds later, the young man fired. He fired 8 shots in 26 seconds. One bullet grazed Trump's right ear. A 50-year-old fire chief named Corey Comparatore, who had thrown himself over his wife and daughters to shield them from the shooting, was hit in the head and killed. 2 other men were badly wounded. 12 seconds after the first shot, a Secret Service counter-sniper shot the gunman through the head. His name was Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was 20
That guy looks like a nerd, I swear.
years old. When police searched his car, they found materials that could be used to build a bomb and a remote device to set it off. His parents had called the local police to report him missing before the rally had even started. The FBI launched one of the largest investigations in the agency's recent history, trying to answer one question. Who was Thomas Matthew Crooks, and why had he done this? Crooks had grown up in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, a quiet suburb south of Pittsburgh. Classmates remembered him as a kid who ate lunch alone and got picked on. He kept to himself. In May 2024, just 2 months before the rally, he had finished a 2-year college program and was set to start at a 4-year university that fall. He worked a part-time job. Almost nobody had ever noticed him. In June and July, he had searched Trump.
How come most assassins are just like not little children? They're like barely actually into adulthood yet. Like, I'm pretty sure like the person who killed Charlie Kirk was like 20 also, right? Pretty sure. Or maybe like younger. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much the same with all assassins. They're just teenagers who decide, oh, I don't like this guy, and they try to kill him.
Trump's upcoming events more than 60 times. On July 6th, the same day he signed up for the Butler rally, he Googled, "How far was Oswald from Kennedy?" The next day, he drove to Butler in person, walked the grounds, and researched the company that owned the warehouse buildings. On July 12th, he went to a shooting range and practiced. On the morning of July 13th, he bought 50 rounds of ammunition and a ladder. After months of investigation involving hundreds of agents, the FBI said they could not determine a clear motive. September 15th, 2024, Ryan Wesley Routh's case. On September 15th, 2024, at approximately 1:59 in the morning, a man arrived at the outer fence of Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. He was carrying a rifle fitted with a scope, a
Palm Beach.
stack of steel armor plates which he hung over the fence to protect himself from return fire, 20 rounds of ammunition, and a camera which he mounted on the fence and pointed toward the course. Then he lay down in the shrubbery and
No, that
waited.
looks like Trump.
Donald Trump was scheduled to play
Oh, never
golf
mind.
that morning. The man stayed in position for nearly 12 hours. At
This game, you're not ready for it.
I don't care.
1:31 in the afternoon, Secret Service agent Robert Furcano was walking the outer perimeter when he noticed a rifle barrel shift through the fence line approximately 400 yards from where Trump was playing. Furcano fired 4 shots into the shrubbery. The man dropped the rifle, ran to his car, and drove north on the highway. He was pulled over and arrested within the hour. At the fence, the rifle, the armor plates, the camera, and 19 rounds still loaded. The man's name was Ryan Wesley Routh. He was 58 years old.
Ooh.
When investigators ran his background, what came back was stranger than most people expected. Routh had worked in construction in Greensboro, North Carolina most of his life, and had been arrested 8 times, including once for walking around with a hidden machine gun. After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, he flew to Kyiv on his own, walked into military offices, and started telling officials he was there to recruit volunteer fighters for the Ukrainian army. The Ukrainian military reviewed his proposals, called them delusional, and never responded to him. He went home undeterred. Back in the United States, he self-published a book about his time in Ukraine and spent the following 2 years posting online about his plan to stop Donald Trump. He then wrote a 12-page letter he titled Dear World and mailed it to 2 men in North Carolina, with pipes, bullets, and wiring inside the envelope. The letter offered $150,000 to anyone who would finish the job if he failed. A jury convicted him on all counts in September 2025. A judge sentenced him to life in prison the following February. In the letter recovered from the fence, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I am so sorry I failed you." He had spent 12 hours lying in Florida dirt, 400 yards from his target, and never fired a single shot. April 25th, 2026, Cole Thomas Allen's case. On the evening of April 25th, 2026, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was underway at the Washington Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. It is one of the most heavily secured events in the United States each year. That night, President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and the full cabinet were seated together inside the ballroom. Hundreds of security personnel were stationed throughout the building and on the surrounding streets. At 8:36 in the evening, a man ran straight through the main security checkpoint near the hotel entrance, past the metal detectors, and opened fire.
Skibbity.
He got off several rounds before Secret Service agents and hotel security tackled him to the ground. One officer was struck in the chest. His bulletproof vest stopped the bullet. Nobody else was hurt. Trump, the First Lady, Vice President Vance, and the cabinet were evacuated from the ballroom and secured. Trump held a press conference shortly after and told reporters he was fine. The man's name was Cole Thomas Allen. He was 31 years old. In the hours that followed, investigators went through Allen's apartment, his devices, and the writings he had left behind. Allen was a tutor from Torrance, California, who helped students prepare for exams. He had 2 university degrees in engineering, one in mechanical engineering from Caltech, one of the most respected technical schools in the country, and a master's in computer science from a state university. In his spare time, he had built and published a video game based on molecular chemistry. He was working on a second one. In his writings, Allen said he was no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. In the days before April 25th, his family had noticed something was wrong and tried to reach him. Minutes before he left his apartment that evening, he sent them a message identifying himself as the friendly federal assassin. Then he packed a shotgun, a handgun, and several knives and drove to Washington. It was the 3rd time in less than 2 years that someone had gotten into Trump's immediate space with the stated intent to kill him, and the first time an attacker had broken through security inside a locked-down venue. Sanford, Crooks, and Routh had all come from outside. Fences, rooftops, rally crowds. Allen came through the front door. He had 2 engineering degrees, a published game, and a plan. He hit a vest. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments what topic.
This guy right here is probably the best art we've seen, like the entire live stream. Matter of fact, the entire video. I don't know why a Nazi symbol was there. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, why is Animal Hospital constantly on here? What is it even about? Like, actually. What is this even about? Oh my god.